All right. Coming to you live on CP Time. Welcome to Sexy Party. I am your host, Antonio Bryce. I am a comic book writer. I am the writer of the comic book series Brand and its upcoming sequel, Brand Way of the Gun, with the same fantastic creative team that brought you book one. So we are very, very excited about that. Let me welcome again for week 3 of this new retooled Sex Party, my lovely co-host, the Mad Weirdo. How are you, dear?
I am doing wonderful this Saturday. Hey, you guys. Hope everybody's Saturday night is going smoothly. I am on this podcast with you, and I'm topless tonight.
Oh, shit.
So,
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That definitely would have been something to lead with when we were having the conversations earlier. And can you remind our good listeners how big are what's your cup size, all that good stuff?
46 G's. Yeah.
Oh,
Big.
wow, nice. I love it. God bless you. God bless you. That is fantastic.
Who doesn't love big titties?
Mhm. Yeah, well, it's like, well, Perth Comics is saying the camera on, please. Number one, uh, those of you that have been listening to this stream, they know because we obviously talk about a lot of adult stuff. But if we actually showed adult stuff, then there would not be a channel to stream on anymore. Unfortunately, YouTube does not play like that. So I remember someone hijacked my stream last year when I did a screen share and they were able to pull the URL. That's one thing I like about StreamYards. Even if they pulled the URL, they would show up in the green room and they couldn't get on my channel unless I let them get on. So unfortunately, with the Google Hangouts that we used to do it on, they were able. I was actually on with Jamal Baraka, and me and him were doing a comic book stream, and someone showed up and they put porn on there, and I got a strike on my channel. I got a little bit of trouble over that. It kind of pissed me off, but someone's like, "Oh, he's just joking around." I was like, "Yeah, that dude almost messed my whole channel up." So yeah, and I was like, that was not cool at all. So anybody would do something like that and claiming that they support what I'm doing, yeah, you're not really supporting me because you really cost cost my ability to do certain things because I had that strike on my channel and stuff. So it just really ticked me off. I mean, I understand people gotta get these jokes off, man, but they really did some damage that I wasn't anticipating. So I was like, yeah. So oh well. But how has your week been going, Mad Weirdo?
It has been crazy. Just been working my ass off with the elderly.
Oh well.
I know, man. Like old people trip me out. But especially like I can tell you some freak nasty stories about things that I've experienced being a
Are you about to
caregiver.
are you about to tell me about having sex with old dudes? Because I'm not into that.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay,
I'm
cool,
not
cool.
because I'm not for geriatric dick.
Sliding the
No,
Viagra. I was like,
no,
oh god.
I'm not good at none of that. But the
You know, it's
first
weird. The reason I ask because they actually have that on like Pornhub and stuff. They actually you go on
I know.
Pornhub and they get like it's like granny sex, grandpa sex. And it's
Mm-mm.
like, man, it's crazy to me. See some dude that's like 25 years old and he's banging some chick that's like 60. And I was
Mm,
like, oh. And I
mm.
get out of those. Sometimes it always shocks me sometimes when it's it always shocks me when I see that. I was like, oh God, you definitely did that for the paycheck. I was just
Now, now, I tell you what. Now, I am a big believer, and I really do think somebody should make it as a business. And if I had the money, I totally would. I feel like people who are the elderly or the infirmed or people who can disabled, they need love too. You know,
well, yeah,
no,
but damn, I don't want to
no,
see it though.
I mean I don't want to see it, but they do need love. Like one guy that I was taking care of, he attempted to commit suicide when he was younger, and it ended up backfiring on him. So he was disabled from his waist on down. He's never had sex. He was 32 years old, and I always felt bad for him. I was just like,
but you didn't help him out. You didn't help.
no, I can't. Look, first off, I can't because I would get fired. Second off, because I would. I mean, if I could and I wouldn't have got fired, I would, because he was
a little extra in the sponge bath.
He was attractive. He was an attractive dude. He wasn't no ugly for him. Like, he wasn't old either. He was my age. He was 32.
Okay, so wait a minute. Did he actually have? Could he actually make it work down there, or what's going on?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, sometimes he would get full on erections when we were taking care of him, like full on. And he had something he was working with. Sure did. But I couldn't do anything because, can't do that. You lose your job and then you get rolled up. But if I could, I totally would, because I always felt bad for him. He would be on OkCupid and shit, and we would be trying to help him game, try to use some game to these chicks so he could try to get laid.
Oh, man, I got laid on OkCupid so many times. I love OkCupid, man.
Yeah. OkCupid is cool. Like, I've had 2 situations on OkCupid.
I think I'm trying to think. I've had 5, 6 different encounters on there. Yeah. It's
okay. Hi, you guys. I see you. Hi, Rodwell.
Yeah. The chat is lit. The chat is out there.
Bianca.
Yeah. They out here showing us love, and this is what it is. So
who name is Criminal Imagination? I like that. I like that name.
All right. Oh, we got some attention on Criminal Imagination. That's hide your kids, hide your wife. Oh no.
But I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. But he would be on OkCupid, so we would try to like holler at the chicks, and the chicks would never talk to him. And I'm just like, dude, he looked good. He looked real good. And I was just like, poor guy. I'm gonna say poor S, because he need to get laid. I would hate it. And then one day he asked me, he was just like, do you like sex, Farrah? I was like, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, everybody likes sex. Who don't like sex?
Oh, boy.
But just imagine being 30-something years old and you got all this pent up aggression and you can't do shit with it. You can't even jack off your dick.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Because you can't use your hands. Like,
okay, that's why I'm trying to figure out, because he's most likely, it sounds like he's in a wheelchair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't use his hands?
He couldn't use his hands. He can't use his legs. Like, he's in physical therapy. And before I left, he was doing pretty good, but still was in a wheelchair, still having problems. Like, his hands creaked up.
He has sensations down in the private region.
Oh yeah. He can feel pain. He just can't use.
Oh wow. Okay.
I know. So
interesting.
That sucks. But my first experience as a caregiver, this old guy, he had 10-minute memory. Okay. And he's 75% deaf. That means every 10 minutes, I have to tell him the same thing over and over and over. And I was a living caregiver at that time. One day, I was off. I just got back. He saw me looking good. I'm not wearing my scrubs and shit. I said, oh, some shit finna happen. But I'm not really paying attention. I'm just tired. I want to go to bed. I'm drunk too. So,
oh no.
Right, so I'm drunk. I'm not really paying attention. So I get this, taking off my clothes, about to put on my pajamas, and he come walking through the door, and I'm like, dude, no, and he can't hear me, and I don't think he's gonna care anyway, and he was just like, look, he walked up to me, he was like, look, and he pulled his dick out, he was just like, can you call somebody to service my tallywhacker? I need somebody to service my tallywhacker. He would ask me that all the time, If I could find him a fucking prostitute to have sex with and shit. I'm just like,
I'm trying to find my chef voice from South Park where he sang the song, a prostitute is a kind of life. I did prostitute prostitute.
And it's stuff like that. And I'm just like, they really need to have some type of escort service for these type of individuals. Like, for real.
It needs to be part of the healthcare package.
It really does. Like, really does. The fucking government needs to pay for these people to have their pleasures because it's just not fair. It was him. There was another guy that was there. He was really nice. He was really sweet. He had dementia. He was in a band with Elvis. So he had all Elvis shit in his room and shit. And he would always tell us.
He played with Elvis?
He played with Elvis. So
wow.
you
I know
him
he has some
and
tape.
yeah, money. So, you know, he was in there or whatever, but he liked to watch porn, yo. He liked to watch porn and he would turn it up so loud you could hear it throughout the whole facility. So we're there eating dinner one night with the people, with my clients, and I hear I was just like, bro, y'all looking around like, what in the fuck? We're like, oh, he in there getting it on. I'm like, oh my God. So we just let him do it, whatever he doing. So we'll start pressing for a service like that up here in Canada. They need it. They really do.
It'll happen in Canada before it happens because that's I've got a buddy of mine that lives in Saskatchewan, and she was like, I could never live in the States because she's like, I need my free health care.
Straight up.
Like,
Straight
make
up.
me feel all bad and everything for not having free health care.
I can't feel bad about none of that shit.
But that's yeah.
Yeah.
You should help them with sponge baths and all that good stuff.
We can't, man, like doing stuff like that when people get caught or whatever, they get a fucking block. They can't work in the healthcare industry ever. Like, oh, I'm not finna mess up my cheddar because caregiving is the easiest shit you could ever do in life. That's the reason why I stay with it. You can move anywhere and get hired as a caregiver within a week like that, making money like that.
Well, they definitely don't want to have my black ass do nothing like that because I would just yeah. You don't want me looking after your loved ones because they'd be all neglected and shit. I'll be up in there making sure that the kind of food I like to eat is in there. I was like, hey, you know, where the cookies at? I'm like, eat up all the old folks shit. It would not be a good look. So
I don't do facility work no more. I am a private duty nurse. And what I tell you is so much easier because I'm going to take care of one person. And I'll just be chilling. I'll be in there taking naps. I'll be in there drinking alcohol with them. I'll drink wine.
Okay, hold on. So they drink, I guess depends on the case-by-case basis, but do you have more than one person you're looking after every week, or is it just I'm like say Monday through Wednesday you got to look after this person, and then the rest of the week you got to look after this person or something? Because I know I had a friend of mine that did that, and she was on certain days, and then someone would come in and on her off days and take, and then she come back or whatever.
I have two clients. Like doing facility work, you would be one person to like 20 people, and you're getting paid about $13 an hour. I get paid $13 an hour to watch one person, and I barely do anything. Like most of the time, I'm just sitting there chilling the whole time. The only time I get to actually do anything is if I'm helping them in their bed, or I'm helping them on the toilet, get on the toilet, or I'm helping them, clean themselves and take a shower. That's it.
Well, see, yeah, my mom worked. She was a caregiver. There were, I think, about 10 people living in her home, and she would have to drive them all around. Like they would go to the Nashville Zoo together and stuff like, it's that kind of thing. But she would have to go back because we didn't have a washer and dryer in the house. So what she would do, I was like, "Mama, you wash clothes tonight?" She's like, "Yeah, I have to wait till everybody go to bed. So after midnight, I'll start sliding y'all shit in and I'll wash." Yeah, that's how my mom used to do. She would come back. We would throw everything in trash bags, and when she come home, and she would have 2 big old trash bags full of laundry. And there was a couple times when she actually said somebody walked in on her when she was washing our shit. But she said, they knew what the deal was, and they didn't say that.
They know what the deal is because they do the same thing. Like all of them, they all bring all their stuff in to work and wash all their clothes. Nobody cares.
Yeah, because before she was we would have to go to like Quick Wash or one of these places because they've got, matter of fact, just on my street we got like 2 or 3. It's one place called Duds and Suds, and fortunately, I have a washer and dryer in my home, so I don't have to do that shit. I was like, I've had neighbors ask me could they use my water, and I let it. I was like, yeah, but you got to get that because that's irritating. Letting somebody come in and out your house and wash your shit, and they don't,
Right.
because it uses your water up and all that. But I was just like, get your ass washer and dry, man.
Charge them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice. That's like, I was just like, hey man, I might be out of town and I need somebody to make sure my shit don't be getting robbed up in here, But
yeah, do your laundry. But going back to Mr. Elvis guy, because I didn't even get to the good part.
Here we go. Elvis.
After everybody's, in their rooms and shit, he's still playing his porn. I'm sitting in the living room area watching TV, ignoring the porn. And he comes out, he's butt ass naked. Butt ass naked. He opens his door. You can hear the porn even louder now. Butt ass naked starts jacking off. Starts jacking off in the middle of the hall. And he's looking at me aggressively. And he's jacking. I'm just looking like, are you fucking kidding me? And I ain't say nothing. I just let him do what he do. And after he was done, he just walked away. And I said, my boss had saw it on the camera, so she called me, and she cracking up because she used to make all this shit like her blockbuster night. Whatever the fuck going on, she'll sit there and watch it with her girlfriend in bed and laugh about the shit. So she called me and shit. I said, I'm letting you know right now, I'm not cleaning that shit up. She's like, let him clean it up. So I bring the little bucket that there, and I knock on his door, and I walk over that. And I'm like, yeah, you gonna have to come out here clean. He's like, I did that? I was like, yeah, you did that. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So he cleaned up his own jizz.
Yeah, that wasn't sexy. That just kind of cut me out a little bit.
I mean, old people got to get it in too, man. From what we knew, him and his wife used to be some freaks. Him and his wife used to be swingers. So they were used to getting it in. Yeah, he told me some stories about him.
Did he swing with Elvis? Because that's what I was playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Here we go. All right, here we go. The king.
Him, Elvis, some backup singers. They all had an orgy on the bus. And he said the little Bobby Sockers were on the side of the bus, so they rolled out the window and told the Bobby Sockers to come join them on the bus. So they was banging chicks on the bus.
So the king was on some R. Kelly shit. What was going on with that?
Bobby Sockers back then, I don't. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I don't necessarily know, if the Bobby Sockers were little teenage girls or adult women because.
A Bobby Soxer, that normally was. They were like little teenage, fans or whatever.
They was the first roadies, the first groupies.
Yeah, and we knew Elvis used to get it in because you even looking at the old footage from the 50s and stuff, he would just be on his bus, and that bus would be surrounded by young girls. Hell, even when he hooked up with Priscilla, she was a young girl.
She was a young girl.
Yeah, she was a young girl. I mean, that's the thing. I remember somebody was talking about Elvis. I was watching, it was one of those shows where I think someone else had died and they go, okay, well, we're going to talk about what he did. Let's talk about what Elvis did because Elvis, everybody likes to forget Elvis seemed to like him young. And it was Elvis and they mentioned the killer, Jerry Lee Lewis. And Jerry Lee Lewis, he married his cousin. His cousin was only like 13 years old or something. He married her. Yeah, she was a young girl. So I'm just saying, they did like him.
They liked him young. We do not promote pedophilia, everphilia at all. No, you have to be wrong.
That used to be. I remember when I was a little kid, like in the 80s, and I talked to a couple. They were older, but the woman told me she was like, "Yeah, we got married when I was 14." And I mean, it's just he was like 16 and she was 14. So I don't know. That's a little weird. But I mean, you know, I don't know. I couldn't consider him a pedophile if the dude was 16, the girl's 14. They're both
Right.
underage. And it's like when you go back and look at, you know, you look at a situation that happened 50 years ago and look at it through modern times. Everything was different. So, you know, especially like if you lived out in the rural area and stuff, that's how it used to be. They let folks get married at like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah,
This is the way
back
it
in the
was.
day, that's just what they did. Like, my ex-husband, his great grandmother, who was still alive, I thought his great grandmother was his grandmother. To be quite honest, yeah, jailbait was not hot topic because she got married when she was 13 and she had 9 kids back to
Yeah,
back to
my
back.
grandmother, she was already, you know, married and stuff, but she was like 15 years old. And my grandmother had 9 babies. That's just where it was.
That's what
So
they did, you
yeah.
know.
I mean, you know, and I mean, my grandfather was a little older. I mean, he probably had at least 10 years on. And I mean, that's just where it was. It's like, oh, okay, you like 25, 26 years old and you want to marry this 15-year-old, let's do it.
Yeah, back in the day, you know, it was you get married when you came a teenager, you got married and shit, and that's just what it was. Nowadays, no, I would fuck you up if I had a child and my teenager came to me and
Well,
said, "Mommy, I
and
want to get
my
married."
grandparents though, my grandparents were married for like 40 something years. You know, they were married, and my grandfather had side babies. Do you understand? He got another woman pregnant, and my grandmother took that child in and raised the little girl with her own children. Because that's just the way
Bruh,
it was. I mean,
that's
now
where it
that's
was.
yeah, it's just the way it was. That's why I'm like, yeah, they my grandparents. It was, I don't know. I look at that stuff now and I was like, yeah, that's just different. People just like people get married now, and the first time they get into any kind of conflict or whatever, they already looking to get out the door. You
Out the
know,
window, out the
yeah, they,
door. My grandmother, man, a few years ago, we had my granddaddy, and then we had Pop Pop. Pop Pop was the guy that Mr. Frank Scott, miss him. He was our grandfather. He took care of us. But we got to find out Pop Pop was a whole married man, and my
mm,
grandma was a mistress for 3 decades.
mm,
I said,
mm.
"What?"
Oh no, GT Media Review says that's why I'm separated. Well, I'm just, hey, this is the way it is. And you know, and what about in the chat says was talking about Teen Mom on MTV, because people don't feel like people don't get married like that. You know, I like to consider myself kind of more old fashioned, and it just people just don't look at marriage the same way now. They were like they'll just be unmarried. Being unmarried and having a child out of wedlock, they used to be an embarrassment. They used to be something you just don't do that. You remember, you know, you hear all those old stories like it was like the 50s and 60s, and someone got pregnant. They would
Right.
say, "Oh, you know, Sarah's visiting our relatives out of town. You know, she's gone for the summer," and then they, you know, she come back, and then all of a sudden, they would try to pretend, "Oh, this is our little cousin here that she just happens to be taking care of, or whatever," you know, and you know that's you, or they would give the baby away to a relative and just let the relatives raise the baby, and they would bring the girl back. That just was not something it was not acceptable back then to be unmarried and have children, but now you see it's commonplace. I know so many people got 2 or 3 kids with 2 or 3 guys and stuff like that. You know, my homeboy Terry, he got 5 kids, 4 baby mamas. These are facts.
Child, I say all these dudes got kids. Oh, my mama talking about some why can't you meet a man without children? I said all these dudes got kids, mom. All these dudes got kids. But you know what? You know
Mm.
what? Back in the day, if a dude was married and he cheated and he had a side piece or whatever across town or whatever, he would take care of both households. We don't have that.
Mm.
No, they just got everywhere. Like there is a group called Sis, Is That Your Man? And every week it is some chick on there posting her dude Like, I need to know what's up with this dude. And then she come to find out all this tea. So this past week, there was a chick, she posted her dude. And when I tell you, so many women came out the woodwork. And 3 of them are pregnant.
Oh.
I said, he got hood triplets.
Well, you know, Lil Wayne did that. Lil Wayne he had three women pregnant at the same time. And that's there was a lyric Drake did on that song he did with French Montana, Don't Stop. He said one of my closest friends got 3 kids and they're all 3. He was talking about Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne had 3 girls pregnant at the same by 3 different women. So
that is so disrespectful to me.
He got like $100 million though. I mean,
but I don't think men understand how disrespectful that is, because that's a time in your life as a woman where it's so special. So just think in your head, okay, you're in a special gestation, you're forming life with this man, and then you find out that he has a whole 2 other chicks that are forming life with this man at the same time that you are. What?
Well, hold up. You know, they did a story. It's about 5 or 6 years ago. They did a story about this guy. He actually is here in Tennessee. This old retired postman, and apparently he has over 40 confirmed children. Like, that used to be his thing. The husband would be gone, because how it started is this woman was kind of looking. She was wanting to trace her family history, and she did some DNA. And she found out that the man that had raised her and she thought was her father, he had passed. And she all of a sudden realized that the DNA, and then she started talking to her mom, and her mom admitted that. But see, and that's another thing, that's that old Chris Rock joke. Chris Rock would say, men tell lies like, nah, I didn't fuck your best friend. And women tell lies like, it's your baby. And that's exactly what this woman did. She got pregnant by this post guy, and she just let her husband think it was his baby, and he raised it. And that's what it was. And when they started looking into it, they found out this postal worker, the whole time he'd been in Tennessee running his route, he had knocked up like 40 chicks, man.
Jesus.
And they just, he had like 40 different children that thing's, I'm just saying, this is what it is. So, I thought that was strange. I was like, I saw the picture. I was like, he just, at that point, he had retired from working at the postal office. He was like old ass white dude. And I was like, damn, he was putting the work in, bro. He done spread that seed. God did say, be fruitful and multiply.
I guess
out there, he putting that route out. He doing his mail route, and he was servicing them women on the mail route. It makes those old porn movies where the pizza guy would show up, look like that's child's play, bro.
Lord, see, it's stuff like that. That's why I'm 34 with no kids, and my mom was like, "You ever gonna give me a grandbaby?" I said, "I will if I get to 40." I'm going to get my eggs froze in September. If I get to 40. And I don't have any kids, I have 2 possible sperm donors. And the reason why I call them sperm donors, because that's exactly what I expect for them to do. And the only reason why there's my sperm donors is because they're good fathers already to their kids. They're very proactive in their children's lives, and they cool with me. So,
you want them to actually be involved with your child? Okay.
Yes. See, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I just wouldn't be involved with them on a personal level. Straight up. I wouldn't be their girlfriend, their wife, none of that. They're not good in relationships, but they're great as fathers.
I love this. What was it? Two Sides Global. We want prenup. Yeah.
That's my homeboy, BJ, and he's one of the sperm donors that I am talking about. He's great. Shout out to VJ for coming through. He said he would. I appreciate it. But
18 years, and on the 18th, he found out it wasn't his. Now, I ain't saying she a gold digger.
So let me tell you some tea about him, since he done brought his ass up in here. Let me give you some sexy time tea. Okay, so I used to fuck with Ben J. Me and him used to fuck together. We used to deal with each other. So we was all booed up at this particular time, and he was over my house, and he was supposed to go and I know you've been through that, Ben J. It's crazy. But we were supposed to go to this little showcase, this little hip hop showcase. So I get up, I get dressed. I'm like, cool. And he's just like, okay, well, we're going to go pick up his homie. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, cool, whatever. We pick up his homie, we're going to go. We get there, right? And what is that? Dick in a glass case, basically. Basically.
It's my dick in the box.
That's it. So we pull up, right? And I'm looking around. A chick comes out, little skinny chick, and I'm just like, and me and the girl are similarly dressed that night, which is weird, because neither one of us knew that was happening. So she comes out and she gets to the passenger side and she sees me, and she give me a look like, "Bitch, why are you in my seat?" And I look at her like, "Bitch, why are you here?" And why are we here? So I'm looking at him, but I'm the type of person, I'm not going to pop off in public. I'll pop off in private. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to play it easy. So she get in the back seat. We drive over. We get out the car. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at her. I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep it cool. I'm going to be easy. So the whole night, I pretty much dissing myself so I won't be mad. I act like everything cool. She having problems. So he ends up sitting with me. Because she having problems, and I know she having problems. So by the end of the night goes or whatever, he invites her over to my house. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, I know this motherfucker did. He did, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play it easy. I'm gonna be nice. So I let everybody come over. We over there chilling in my room. He decides that he wants to have an impromptu 3-way.
Oh wow.
And we're looking like, what? whatever. But we end up doing it. So.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there ever these situations? Because I've noticed this about you. You have been in a few of these situations that you have relayed on this podcast. Sexy Party. Now streaming on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, iTunes, Google Play. We are everywhere. But I've noticed, Mad Weirdo, that a few times you have told me, it's like, yeah, I was like, what the hell? And then you ended up doing it. So why don't you where is the no, we're not doing this? I have yet to hear.
I am a very experimental individual.
Because that's why I'm waiting to hear on the story that you tell. It's like, well, that was too far. So then I grabbed my clothes and I walked out of the room. It's never that. It's like you seem to be taken aback at first, and then you end up doing it.
And then I end up doing it because I enjoy experimenting. I enjoy having fun. So it wasn't no big deal to me. Thank you. I do rule. But I mean, I take my shit in stride and then I give them hell after the fact. That's it. So I did. So, she's eating me out and she's getting fucked. He's fucking her.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm eating her out. He's fucking me. It's all good. We having fun, right? So everything is over, right? So he's laid up with me and she's mad. She's mad. And I'm just like she made him take her home and everything. He ends up coming back to my house after the fact. And that's when I went off. But
so what, you got mad at him after you did the deed?
I've been bad. I've been bad. But you know what? I will put my anger on hold.
So like, how dare you? But let me eat this woman out.
Yeah, let me just do it for the hell of it. Just fuck it for the hell of it. Sometimes you get put in a situation, and I knew what it was. He was testing me because men, when they hear the word you bisexual, when they hear girls say, "Oh, I'm bisexual," they really do not believe that we're bisexual. I'm like, I'm about that life. Now, had he put it in a different, framed it in a different way, or framed the whole situation in a different way, it would have been a lot better. and we would have did a lot more than just basic shit that we did, because what we did was basic. I ate her out, she ate me out. No, it would have been some extra shit, but he didn't get any extra shit, so he got what he got.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. So you did the threesome, and
Yes.
But you did not do a good job in the threesome. You just gave him like average threesome sex.
Yes, I gave him below average.
Below
That's
average.
below average. The extra shit would be like, playing with the clit and doing all this shit, sucking the dick at the same time. And,
oh, wow.
And dick in the balls and all that shit. That would have been some extra. We ain't do none of that. None of that. So he didn't get the extra shit because he tried me.
Oh my God. But that's the thing. Did he go, I'm curious. I would love to talk to this gentleman. I would like to say, okay, so you had the threesome and Mad Weirdo and your other little friend, and they were eating each other out and you got laid. Everybody was fucking each other. Did you realize that she was giving you subpar sex that day? Or
he's in the chat. Answer him, Big J. Send him a comment.
Yeah, did you realize that the sex was below average? Did you, or was you like, damn, I just moved up another level in the game? I was like, oh man.
With dudes, I don't think dudes give a fuck, because the way it was for him is that he won anyway because he had the threesome. Like, it would have been a loss if I just kicked both of their ass the fuck out. But I was drunk. Okay, my cousin was there. I got a cousin that rapped, and he was there at the showcase, and he was giving me shots. So really and truly, at that point, I was just like, "Fuck it." Fuck it.
Yeah, that's I agree with Mr. Yule Carter in the chat there. He is one of the co-hosts of the Wrestling Council, which we do every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be on the S&B network this week. But Yule said that's a hard way to learn a lesson. And I agree with that, because I'm not sure he realized. He's like, she sure showed me.
Right. He didn't really fucking learn a lesson. I know, man. But you drunk and you silly. He did answer your question, though. I see it.
Yeah, hold up. Let me see here. The sex was by no means subpar, but you could tell they weren't that into each. So the two girls, they were just like,
yeah.
Okay. That's a weird situation to me. I was
just like, I just did it just to do it. And sometimes you get put in situations where you just do it. I mean, yeah.
Let me see. Let's see. Michael Pernesti says, I would take below average at this point. I'd take a piss poor job of it if it was a threesome. I just, for some reason, I always, you mentioned the three people, and I'm hearing Jim Ross, the wrestling commentator. My God, somebody stop the damn match!
Oh God,
it's a slobber knocker, folks. It's like, like, folks, we've got a slobber knocker here today. It's like,
he said, I guess I'm gonna eat the box today was the exact move. That was what it was. It was just like, fuck it.
Right. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Because it doesn't sound like he lost. It sounds like he wins.
He didn't lose.
That's why it didn't sound like it just, I don't know.
He didn't lose.
Yeah, it sounded like you really taught him a lesson, though.
Right. I mean, that wasn't even the point. Like, the point is that it happened. And it was just some silly ass shit that I did in my 20s. I admit that. And I had an okay time, I guess. It was just a very interesting situation. Yeah. So it was. And
I like the way you teach lessons. I really like the way you teach, because I know that if that had happened to me, you sure showed me. I was like, you sure showed me. So I was like, God forbid I ever try to pull this off again, except maybe in a few days when I set this whole thing back up again.
You know what? I do things because I just want to experience how shit happens. It's good fodder for a book that I plan on writing about my life because I've been through
Oh
some
shit.
shit. So
Oh,
it's like, okay, I get to have these little stories that I can tell. And you're gonna read my book. My book gonna be a bestseller.
oh man. Okay. Uh, it's like when you go on Amazon, you go in their book section. They have like a black book section, and it's all these women that are writing these like weird sex novels. They write like romance, because my mom used to read a lot of and my sister used to read a lot of romance novels too. And you would see, like, because that's where Fabio came from. He used to be on a lot of these covers. It's like be a pirate story, and all of a sudden you see Fabio and some woman, they be painted up like they're on a ship somewhere. It's like, oh, the wind's blowing and all this kind of stuff. But the black romance novels were always like hoods. The dude's like a drug dealer. He's a boss.
Right.
And then, yeah, it was always weird. I was like, I'd be like, there's no way that anybody's reading this book. And I'd look, and the chick would have written like 15 books like this, and she's got thousands of sales. She's making a grip doing this shit. Yep. And I'm like, whoo. I'm like, that. I was like, well, it just shows me, just because I don't think something's up for me, it just doesn't, that doesn't translate. Like I said, she was getting that bag, and I couldn't, I can't hate on anybody getting the bag. I'm always looking to improve and get the bag.
50 Shades of the Mad Weirdo. Well, you know what? I don't fuck with 50 Shades. Nobody in the BDSM community fucks with 50 Shades of Grey.
Wait, okay, hold up. Now I want to know about that, because, like I said, I'm not into BD. I've had people try to pull me into that kind of shit. I guess I'm a bit of a square. I'm not into that. The nipple clamps and all. I mean, I've done some sex toys and stuff and little anal play, but other than that, I'm not. Yeah. So explain to me why people in the BDSM community would have a problem with the novels, the 50 Shade novels.
One, okay, the main reason why we don't fuck with that novel is the girl did not want it. It's all about consent. She did not want it. Her man.
But she signed a contract, though.
She did. She did that for her dude. She didn't want it. She never wanted that life.
So that's against the rules in the BDSM community. It's got to all whatever criminal imagination says bad writing. Now, did you think? Wait a minute. Now, let me ask this. I've heard a lot of people say that 50 Shades is poorly written, and a lot of times when I end up talking to them about it, they're talking about the movies, and they're not talking about the novels. They actually haven't read the novels, which are New York Times bestsellers. So
the novels suck.
The novels suck too.
Right. And I'm going to tell you why. The novels suck is because she was doing Twilight fan fiction. That's what all of this stems from. Okay. Twilight fan fiction. And she turned it into 50 Shades. And she took Mr. Grey and how everything is set up, because she watched a movie that is held in the BDSM community as greatness, Secretary, with Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh, and wasn't James Spader in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
Remember
I remember
his name was Mr. Grey. And so she took all those elements and she revamped it from Bella and Edward and turned it into 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, hold up. Jay Chill's 50 Shades movie was whack.
Shout out to Jay. What's up? That's my homie. And it was whack.
I thought it got stranger as I watched the first one. I was like, okay, it had some good moments. And the second one, they toned it down a little bit. It seemed like they got scared to really go into it. And then the third one, I was trying to watch, and I was like, okay, it's got strange. So I don't know.
Now there is a such thing in our community called consensual non-consent, and
Well, hold on. You gotta, because like I said, I don't know anything about this, so I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, okay, good. That's the whole point of this. I'm trying to enlighten my mind. I want to know about all this stuff. So yeah, okay, consensual non-consent.
Yes, and it is basically us or the sub consenting the dom or our partner to whatever they want. whatever they want. For example, if I sign up for that and I have, then hey, if my dom comes over and he wants to fuck right then, we fucking. He wants me to suck suck his dick, he pull his dick out. I'm sucking. There it is.
Okay. But no contracts. That because I always, that was one thing I thought was weird about 50 Shades. Like I said, I'm not into the community, so I don't know what, like I said, he had the basic stuff, he looked like he had leather and ties and whips and all kind of stuff, and the whole thing about like having to sleep on the floor or something, and
right.
like when he told that story about the woman that was his dom or whatever, he was submissive to her, and now he's a dom and the girl is submissive to him. So
right.
Like I said, I don't know anything about the community, and I just like watching people fuck. So that was the whole. Oh no, hold up, you're like a rape fantasy? No, I hope not.
It's actually that's along the lines of it. In a way, there are some people who get off on the concept of rape, but
no.
with their partners. That's it. And some people they role play. The cops and robbers is one, or the woman being burglarized in the middle of the night. I had a friend that was like that, and her and her husband would often have these situations where he'll just dip out all day. So she'll be getting ready for bed, she'll get in bed, and he'll act like he's breaking in her house. He'll be ski masked the fuck up. He'll tie her up.
Way.
Yeah. He'll tie her up. He actually has a loaded gun, and he would be fucking her like with the gun in her head, and they got off on that. I mean, extreme. There are levels of extremes.
Well, what you just reminded me of, it's that song that the Notorious B.I.G. did, where he talked about fucking the girl, and then her boyfriend that played for the New York Knicks came in, and then they had to switch the situation. They had to pretend like she was in there getting raped and getting robbed, so that the boyfriend wouldn't know that what had happened. And after Notorious B.I.G. died, and after Anthony Mason died, Fat Joe went on the radio and said that story was a real story, and that it was Anthony Mason. I did not know. I just thought he was rapping. And Anthony Mason, apparently this was on the Ready to Die album. Oh, no, Life After Death. The Life After Death, where he said, "Bring some weed, I got a story to tell." That song was apparently about Notorious B.I.G. having sex. She was cheating on Anthony Mason with Notorious B.I.G. and he walked in, and so then he put the bandana around his face to cover his face up, and hit the girl and pretended like he was robbing her, and robbed him of like over $10,000 worth of cash, and dipped out. And then a couple years later made a song about it, which I still listen to this day. So yeah, Fat Joe was the one that told it. Hey, that really happened. It was Anthony Mason.
Wow.
Yeah, so I always love Life After Death is a great album, and I just thought it was all made up bullshit. It's just like on the first album, Ready to Die, that scene, there's a little interlude clip where Notorious B.I.G. is fucking, and the woman that he's fucking in the studio is Lil' Kim. And people said, "Oh no, that was real," and they recorded it, but it was so over the top. If you listen to it, she's like, "Oh, fuck me, you big banana sandwich eating mother." She's saying all kind of weird shit to him and stuff. And so I was like, "Oh, they get." And there's people who's like, "No, that was that's funny." It's like people's like, "No, that was bullshit. They was just in there just making sound effects." And then other people's like, "No, they really fucked in there and they were recording and stuff." And I was like, so I don't know what was real or not. So
I want that. I've always hung out with dudes that rapped or dudes that produced and was in the studio. And that's always been my dream, to fuck on a track. Because I have a really beautiful moaning voice.
Well, yeah, so what you want to? So you want to do like Biggie and record the damn shit?
I want a Rocket Queen. I don't know if you ever heard Rocket Queen by Guns N' Roses, but yeah, I want a Rocket Queen track. I want to be in the background. Yes,
Oh my
I want
god.
somebody to fuck me and put it on the track.
Yeah, I was like, I always laugh. I wish I could play that video clip because this. I mean, obviously you can still get it on like iTunes and shit like that. But I want to hear little Kim go, "Oh fuck me, you big fat sloppy motherfucker!" You know, she's saying all this weird shit, and I was like, "Oh, hold on, criminal imagination."
His
That's my
least
least
favorite
favorite
song.
song. Oh wow, really? Okay, because I don't know. I've listened to that. I've listened to both of those albums so many times. You know, I was like, I love Biggie. Biggie was, yeah, but I just thought that was, oh, fat me, you big fat sloppy motherfucker. Oh, fuck me. Oh, you know, she made all these sounds. And I was like, oh,
Oh my God.
okay.
He said bet. Big J makes great music, great tracks. He's a great producer. Please don't put me on your shit because the people that you got rapping under your shit is horrible.
Anybody bubbling up in the game right now that I should be checking for? Because I don't know what kind of music, you know, I'm assuming it's, you know, what, you know, even just saying, you can't just say rap anymore because they got like 20 different kinds of rap. They got
Right.
like, you know, drill music and all this kind of, I don't know what all he kind of produces or whatnot, but if there's any of these hot artists on SoundCloud or whatever, yeah, man. Let's, yeah. My Michelle's my favorite. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let me see. Yoko did a track like that on Double Fat Kiss Kiss Kiss. Wasn't that? Yeah, I know. Man, I know they did on the album cover. They took a picture of them. I know.
Butt ass
John Lennon.
naked.
Yeah, they were naked on the cover or something. I mean, they were always doing shit. Because hell, my
Weird
sister.
shit.
Yeah, I remember there was I can't remember the Prince album, but he's naked on it and he's riding butt naked on the back of a unicorn or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
Prince was out there, man. Prince was. I remember I was like 7 years old, and my sister actually had the LP, you know, when they still made records and it wasn't a novelty, but she had the LP of Prince, and you open it up, and like I said, he's sitting there, but you know, he covered his private parts, so he was up in there butt naked. I was like, oh, you know, me 7 years old seeing this, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this is, man. So,
Dude, my mom was obsessed. She still is obsessed with Prince. So I bought her Prince type shit. But when I was younger, she had a picture, an autographed picture of Prince, and she still has it with him and the ass out chaps,
oh yeah,
ass out light blue chaps. I said, bro, I remember when I came across that shit, I was like, what?
because I remember he Prince had that song "Pussy Control." And I remember he did a song on
Yes.
MTV, and that was the thing. I remember when he turned around on MTV, they still showed the clip when he
Yep, with
turned
the ass
around and
out.
his ass was out, because they even goofed on that on In Living Color. I remember they did. They
Yep.
did. I think it was Tommy. I'm trying to remember, was it Tommy Davidson or Damon Wayans? One of them was Prince, and he and he turned. I think it was Damon Wayans. He turned around and his ass was all out and everything. He was selling Prince assless chaps or whatever. So yeah, it was that kind of shit. I just loved that. But man, In Living Color was so funny. I always talk about In Living Color.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God, In Living Color and all the stars that they had on In Living Color. I was like, but that yeah, but Pussy Control from Prince. Prince, I love Prince's music, and
Same.
I had a girl that wanted to go see Prince. He was performing at the Ryman Auditorium, and I almost bought the tickets, and then my money was so tight though, and I didn't know if I really liked a bitch like that. So I was like, but I regret now, because I always said, well, I'm gonna go see Prince in concert. And he came to Nashville a few times, and I just never made the trip. So now I'm like, although I went to see Dave Chappelle at the Ryman, and as much as I enjoyed the concert, those seats that we had at the Ryman were awful, and they had those little tiny benches were not made for fat motherfuckers like me. So it was like you were all squeezed into these little tiny ass benches, and I was like, yeah, these seats were not made for fat motherfuckers. So I'm glad that I didn't see Prince like that, where I was just like my ass is shoved into these little seats. But but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I would have loved to see Prince live.
Same. Yes, I bet it would have been awesome. I didn't get to experience that. It made me sad because When he died, it's like a week before my birthday.
Yeah, and he
So,
was only like what 50, 55, maybe
yep,
57. Yeah, something. He wasn't that he still looked incredible and he could still play. And I'll just which that's a
drugs.
funny thing about Prince. You hear people like Carmen Electra, and she talks
Mhm.
about the time that she spent with Prince because she didn't I was trying to remember her real name's Tara,
Yep.
and Prince changed. Prince was like, "No, that name's boring, bitch. We changed your name to your name's Carmen Electra now."
Carmen Electra.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Prince used to have these all night recording sessions at the studio, and Carmen has been on like Howard Stern and stuff, and Prince used to fuck her on the soundboards in the damn studio. So
Mhm.
he would
Mhm.
just let everybody leave the room, and he would get into these little fits where he needed some pussy, and he would send everybody out the room, and she told her, which I always thought Carmen was hot. I'm surprised she don't got like 20 babies right now, but Carmen was a bad chick back in the day. And I mean, she's still attractive. I mean, she's like 50 and she's still
Yeah, she's still
attractive, but
bad.
yeah, she a bad chick. But boy, when she was in her 20s and 30s and
She
stuff,
was real bad.
and she's sitting there talking about, yeah, he would need some pussy, and he would throw everybody out the room, and he would just fuck her right there on the soundboard in the studio.
See, creatives, what I noticed, because that's what I tend to attract creatives. Creatives, they get really horny when they do creative shit, when they're in their mode. And I noticed that they'll do some music and then they'll want to fuck for hours.
And then you got what was the chick from Purple Rain at what was it, Apollonia,
Apollonia.
and then the other chick, what's the other chick? Because I remember he was dating, who was it, she was in The Last Dragon. I can't remember the
I forgot. I know who you're talking about.
damn,
I know
I'm
who you're
about to
talking
look her up. But yeah, Prince apparently, because the one girl, they said, damn, Prince made that bitch lose her mind because she went to Jesus. She turned her
Yeah, that was Apollonia. Yeah,
yeah.
she went to God. She
Yeah.
became
I was like, did Prince?
a
Because they
preacher.
said Prince had a big thing about he just was turning these hoes out, man. And this
Yep.
so yeah, it was Apollonia in Purple Rain Hole. So now I gotta look up The Last Dragon because it was a different girl and Prince fucked
You
her
just
too.
said turn people out. So I would like to tell you the story about how I turned this guy out and
Here
essentially
we
ruined his relationship, and now he's all on my shit forever. Okay, so I have a friend, my
Vanity. I
home
found Vanity. Okay, so
Vanity. Yeah,
Vanity. So yeah, Prince made both of them bitches just
turn him
act
out.
a damn fool. Yeah. But yeah,
It
go
is
ahead,
it
please.
is a thing when you turn somebody out because it's an experience. I don't see how men do it because I just feel bad about doing it, but not really because I saved my friend from a lot of trouble. Okay, so my homegirl knew I was bi and knew I, was about that life. And at the time I was married, but we were pretty much in an open relationship because he was deployed. So she calls me and she's just like, well, my dude keeps asking me for a threesome. He keeps asking me and asking me and asking me for a threesome. I don't really want to do it because I'm not attracted to women, but I would like to, go ahead and let him just sow his wild oats. And I would rather do it with somebody I trust, and I trust you. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. And she's like, why? And I said, I think you're going to see certain things that you might not like. And she was just like, well,
Mm.
I just want to make him happy. And I'm like, okay. So I said, cool, whatever. Because I knew the dude was not good for her. And I already knew what the fuck was going on because I would tell my stories and he would be so staring so intently at my face. Like he'd be so into the fucking story. So I'm like, I see some shit that nah, because my friend is very traditional. She's very sweet and kind, and she's not about this life, but he is, and I see it. So we make, a date or whatever, and we go to this hotel, and it's me, her, him, and our other best friend who is a virgin, but she is a freak. She's a virginal freak. She's still a virgin. Freak.
Right now, she's still a virgin.
Yeah, she's still a virgin because she
Oh
wants to give
shit!
it to the right guy. And I told her, I
Oh
said, it's really
lord!
not fucking worth it, bitch. When
Oh.
you start having sex, you'll realize that whole thought process ain't worth it. But
Hold on. Wolf of Magdeburg says, "Let me guess how this ends. She has a threesome."
no, I have a threesome. You're absolutely right.
Oh
But she
God.
did. She just sat and watched. So she provided condoms as well. So we're in the room and
Oh,
we
so you
get
do
drunk.
safe sex when you do these?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, I'm a big believer. Cover that shit up.
You know, I done went in raw dog so many times. You know.
I've done it a few times, but it's always been with partners that I am with. Period. Point blank. But for the most part, condoms. So yeah, she had the condoms, and we were like, cool. We got drunk, and she was just like, my friend was just like, you want to get it started? And I'm like, okay, cool. So we kiss each other. I know she ain't into it. I'm not into it. But I'm just doing this shit as a favor. I knew it was gonna wake up some shit. So I'm like, okay, let's get this nigga out. Sorry, I said the word.
Oh no.
Sorry, you
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But we get this dude out the way so she can be happy. So we get down to the get down, and she just like, well, let me show you how he likes his dick sucked. And I'm like, I know how to
Yes.
suck a
Please,
dick.
please, please.
I know
Yes.
how to suck a dick. So I get his dick, I start sucking it. She's like, he don't like it like that. And he stops her. Said, no, she's doing great. I said, oh, I'm thinking in my head, it already started. So she stares off to the side and we start to have sex, me and the guy. And I see my friend and she's almost in tears. And I'm just like, no, stop. We can't do this. It lasted for like 2 minutes. Like, stop. We can't do this. I can't do this to my friend. And she rolls over and she's just like, you guys can do it. I'm just like, I'm not doing that shit to you. So me and him just end up talking all night. And the main reason why I just talked to him all night is because I wanted to see what his mind was after the fact. And his mind kept stemming to, well, I wanted an open relationship. Well, I want to see things where they should go and where, all that. So at the end of all this, come to find out what ends up happening after the threesome is he forces her to have an open relationship. He ends up meeting someone else. She is a broken mess, but she ends up meeting a good guy. And she decides that she wants to end the relationship because he's no good for her. Meanwhile, the whole time he is kind of contact me on Facebook. He finds my cousin at the airport, gives my cousin his number, and tells my cousin to tell me to call him. I don't. So my homegirl leaves him. She finds the man of her dreams, and she gets married. And now she's about to have a child. And it's been about 11 years since that happened. And every few months, he contacts me on Facebook. He is still on Facebook trying to talk to me. So I had a conversation with my friend, and she was just like, you really turned this man out, because after the threesome happened, he kept on pushing for more of them. He kept on pushing for extra stuff. He wanted us to go to the swinger clubs. He wanted us to go and, swing and have orgies and participate in orgies and all this other stuff. So, yeah, I turned him out.
Interesting. That is well, I just
I have. You said she wasn't about that life. She wasn't about that life at all. She just wasn't. And some people are and some people aren't. And I understand that. But if you know that you want something and your partner does not, realize that y'all are not equally yoked and y'all don't need to be together, because it's not going to work. Pressuring other people, it's one thing to open your life to open your mind to something, but the pressuring your partner, nah. That's what happened to the person I first had sex with, my first fiance. He is now married to a woman who.
But we also discovered that the person you first had sex with was actually like your 22nd person that you had sex with, because he was just your first.
Oh yeah, well, my first man that I had sex with, the first man that I had sex with, he was a complete grade A freak. I mean, grade A freak, and he married a woman that was very modest and was not about that life. Like she didn't like to do any position other than missionary and back shots.
Okay. I guess I'm a stiff because I love missionary. Ain't nothing wrong with missionary to me.
But
I love
it's
that.
other positions and it's other things to do. Like she didn't want to fuck in different places like we used to do.
Oh
She
no,
didn't want to
yeah.
do
Yeah,
none of that.
I like mixing it up. I fuck in the car. I fuck. Matter of fact,
No.
this is I fucked one of my exes. Um, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a Saturday, so it was early Sunday morning. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we just started talking about wanting to take things to another level and all this. So she came by my house. I was still living with my mom at the time, and she had these like overalls on, and I said, what would you do if I just pull? Because she had it where all she had to do was just clip the little buttons in the front, and I could get access to all her shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if she pulled the overall, she pulled them two little clips, and then all of a sudden I could just hike that shit up and just go right in. And she just had her little panties on, and so she was leaning up against the hood of her car, and she was like, "I just want you to fuck me right here on the hood." And I was looking around, and there wasn't anybody. There wasn't anybody. The neighborhood was dead. Everybody, because my mom lived in this neighborhood with a bunch of old folks, and she unclipped her overalls, and I unzipped my pants, and I was about to stick my dick in, and then all of a sudden my neighbor pulled in. My neighbor pulled in right there, you know, because it was like a two space. Because my mom was at work. My mom worked night shift, so she had pulled her car out, and she had pulled in where my mom's parking space for the house, and then right next to it was an empty slot, and that was meant for my next door. That we all had like little separate condos in there. And all of a sudden, like I said, she unclipped, and I unzipped my pants, and we're about to fuck right there on the hood of her car. And then
Yes.
the neighbor pulls in, and we were like, oh, and all of a sudden we rebutton and stuff. He was like, hey guys, and he knew something was going on, and he got the fuck out of there. He was coming in, because I was like, damn, I was about to bust out right
Oh
there.
my God.
And
Oh my God. I love getting caught. I love public shit. The last time I've had a public situation happen was when I was in Murfreesboro. The Applebee's in Murfreesboro on South Rutherford Boulevard. Okay.
I've been there
Got
many a time. I've
many
been
a
there many a
time.
time. Yeah.
I stayed in some apartments right across the street.
Yeah, right across the
And
street over there where the
right
Walmart
across,
is.
right,
Yeah, I know that
exactly.
spot. Yeah. The liquor
So
store, all that.
liquor
Yeah.
store, all that shit. So the dude, we went to the Applebee's, right? And the dude, he was trying to be my dom. So we were essentially
That
meeting up
Zaxby's
just
right there in the parking lot.
all that,
No,
yup.
trust me, I know this
You
spot,
know
man.
what
I
the
know the little
fuck
car
going on.
wash joint. I know the whole
Exactly.
area.
So we at the Applebee's, we eating, we're talking to one another. And right before he takes me home, he's just like, I just want to eat you out.
Oh shit.
I'm like, right here? He's like, yeah, I want you spread out for me on the hood. Now, you know South Rutherford got
Yeah.
all those cars going back and forth. And it's
Yeah,
at
because
Applebee's.
that's the way I used to come home when I was working at Amazon, and
Right.
I'd leave the Amazon facility, and then I would turn down South Rutherford. It was easier because like Broad, there's a street called Broad, and that's the
Broad.
way I would that's the way I would come. You know, like when I would go to work, I would go up Broad, but then
Okay.
on the way home, I would go down South Rutherford because it would go by MTSU, and it just seemed like that was it was a little bit longer, but it was just a quicker route. So I would go that way because it just didn't seem that it seemed like the road was a little wider open. Broad was so condensed in the traffic. They was building that overpass over there, and it was just fucked up.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, it's easier to, even though it's a longer trip, I'll go down South Rutherford. So I
Go
would
down
pass that
South
brother.
Rutherford.
Sometimes I would stop at that Zaxby's, and they had a cookout over there. I would get that,
Yeah.
and there would be some, you know, it was like a college apartment over there. They had those college apartments
That's where I
where
stayed at.
yeah, and so that's what it was. And yeah, motherfuckers, everybody, there was that liquor store over there, and there would be so many people over there just getting laid out, smoking weed. They would be doing every damn thing in that damn parking lot.
Yep. We chilling in the parking lot. So the dude, like, he's just like, I want to eat you out right now. Just lay out on the hood. So I stretch out on the hood, and he started eating me from the back, bro.
Oh,
I'm like, what? And this shit wild because it's honk, it's cars honking and shit. That was just like, I ain't had no shame in my game. I ain't give a fuck. I ain't give a fuck. My first experience like that was with my the first guy I slept with. We were hanging out at my cousin's house, and he's like, "Come on, let's go outside." It was about 2:00 in the morning, but that street that we're on, it get pretty congested on the weekends, and it was. And he was just like, "Let's fuck on the grass."
Oh yeah, I got one of them stories too. Let me get criminal investigation for $5 Canadian. I visited my great uncle. I knock on the door and end up seeing silhouettes putting their pants on and running out of the living room. Bum, bum, bum. There you go. That's what it is.
Hey. No, he wanted to fuck me on the grass, and I'm just like this. I'm not even that experienced, so at this time, I'm just like, you want to fuck on the grass? Like, yeah, let's fuck on the grass right in front of your aunt house. I'm like, I don't know about all that, but said fuck it. So we fucking right on the grass, and cars just passing us, and one car just put his high beams up. And they're like,
the high beams.
I'm just like, oh shit. All you can see is my legs in there. And him on top of me just getting it on. I know he saw everything.
Oh no. So what happened to me? Same girl that I almost fucked on the hood of the car and my neighbor ruined it, right? So it was a couple weeks later. Like I said, she was into real freak shit. And so what we did is she was like, it turned her on that we almost got caught, and she still wanted to have sex outside. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so she was like, okay, well, we already know that anybody could pull up if we was doing it on the hood of the car. So she said, let's go in the backyard. We had a tree back there, and she said, let's go on into the backyard. So at that point, I went in my mom's crib and grabbed a big old blanket and some pillows and stuff. And I said, are you serious about this? And she goes, yeah. She said, let's do it. And so I went and laid them out and put the pillows down so she could lay her head down and stuff. And we went in there, and like I said, we in the backyard, but it was an open backyard. So all the neighbors in the but this is, again, it's like 2:30, 3:00 in the morning. It's late as fuck. Right. And so I'm not expecting nobody to come walking through the backyard at this late at night. The one thing I will say, so we got, I unzipped my pants, and pull my pants down. I got my bare ass, and she's laying there, and I started getting like mosquitoes was biting my ass and stuff. I remember this. That was one of the things. I'm sitting there laying under this tree with this chick, and she spread eagle, and we got the pillows and all that. I'm sitting here fucking her. And all of a sudden, I'm like slapping my own ass because it was like, I was like, oh, what the fuck? Am I getting eat up by these damn mosquitoes? And it was kind of weird. Or was it ants crawling on me or something? It was just, I just realized all of a sudden that this was not the lifestyle. But I'm a soldier, so I powered through this shit. And we get in. I mean, it was actually a really good session. We were fucking, oh God, it was so good. And then all of a sudden, you hear like the leaves on the ground. It was like we were going almost in the fall. And so the leaves had started like falling off the trees, and you could hear them like kind of crumble. So all of a sudden I start hearing and somebody is walking. Someone is walking. And all of a sudden, and like I said, I'm fucking her under the tree. And I look up, and there's this white dude. He walking right through my yard. He looks over, he sees both of us over there fucking, and he's like, oh shit. And he just, all of a sudden, because it goes like this. It goes, and he sees us, and all of a sudden it's like, because once he sees that we're fucking, he's like, oh shit. And he just like beat feet and got the fuck out of there. And she's like, oh my God, he just saw us. And we both just busted out laughing. And then, I fucked her for about 20 more minutes and bust my nut and got up out of there. It was so funny.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that really, and it was so crazy. It was like, we had broke up, but every now and again, she would come. I was managing that MAPCO, and she would come in there and get her cigarettes or get gas and stuff. She's like, we were fucking in your mom's backyard. And that guy come walking up, and I was like, yeah, I told that story so many times. It was so funny because I was like, but it was crazy. It was definitely mosquitoes or something were biting my ass.
Chiggers.
Yeah, it was something was going on out there.
That's chiggers in the grass.
Because it was crazy. I was getting I was taking a shower and I had all these little whelps on my backside and stuff. They was just smacking on my ass.
Yeah.
And it was not a good, but like I said, the sex was good. But I said, yeah, someone was biting. And she was like, yeah, someone's biting me down there. I don't know what was going on. And I was like, oh.
That's why you cannot have sex in the grass, because those chiggers will get you, man.
I'm telling you, I had like little red whelps all over me after that happened. It was all fucked up. I was like, it kind of took my stroke game out of proportion, because I'm sitting there trying to hit it, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, damn, what is this biting me? Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I was like, it was real strange, but. But it was, I thought, like I said, the sex itself was good, but I don't like getting my ass just beat up by like 50 damn bugs all night long. So it was like, oh no, now the chat is clowning me and everything. This is not
smacking on the ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was crazy because, like I said, I was, I'm putting alcohol over myself. I was like, what the hell was this? It was eating my ass out there. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just like, but she had some good pussy though. I do recall that, and oh
my God.
Yeah.
See, I can't find sex to enjoy anymore, because I like rough, animalistic sex.
Oh shit.
I like being put in my place. I like choke me, man. Like, give me the dick and give it to me deep and choke me. Smack my ass while you're fucking me. Grab my hair. Grab the back of my neck. Grab my arms. And I'm flexible for a big chick. And people don't think fat chicks are flexible. I'm like, no. Put my legs all up. Put me in a 90-degree angle. Put me in whatever. Like, stretch my legs, Let me do a goddamn Chinese split on the dick. I like intense sex. And a lot of the guys that are out here they just want to hit it and quit it. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to have a good sexual
I'm raising my
experience.
hand. That would be me. I like to hit it and quit it.
I don't want no hit it and quit it. I go get some basic ass bitch. I'm not a basic bitch. You gotta put it on me. You gotta do some extra shit to me. Because otherwise I'm just gonna be sitting there like, okay. My nails. And what I don't understand about men, you can't hit it and quit it and then think you king shit with women. Why? Because most women don't get orgasms. You do know that, right?
Yeah, I can't. That is not my personal experience, because I have had a few that have had trouble having orgasms. So I work extra hard to try to make sure that is mission accomplished. And,
see, you try. It's just some of them, they just in it just to get their nut and just go about their business. And I feel like that's not an authentic sexual experience. And to have an authentic sexual experience, both parties or more should be enjoying the experience. I used to have sex all the time and not have orgasms, but I enjoyed the sexual experience because we were into it. They were giving me certain things that I liked, so I would get past the not having an orgasm part. But now that I have orgasms, I won't accept nothing less. You gonna give me an orgasm, or I'm just gonna get the fuck out your face. That's it.
Okay.
Straight up. I mean,
straight up.
Straight up. And I don't want to get ate out because the dude will instantly go there. Be like, let me eat you out. Like whether you know it, know it or not, I get orgasms from playing with my titties. You play with my nipples,
really?
I'ma come.
Oh.
If I suck your dick the way I want to suck your dick, I'ma come.
Oh.
There are different ways to make me come or other women come. Sometimes I don't want to fuck. Sometimes I just want to suck some dick.
Oh.
And I just come that way.
Well, yeah, there was a girl. She was kind of giving me kind of bullshit head, and after I had went down there and spit and polished that motherfucker for like 20, 25 minutes, and she was like, "Why are you complaining? I did suck your dick," and I was like, "Bitch, I want you to suck my dick like you mean it." And I was like, "Don't be down there. You want me to go down there and spit and polish and blah 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 and do all this shit? You come up here and it's like." Okay, I guess I'll suck your dick now. And you just like no enthusiasm. Fuck that. I want you to suck my dick like you mean it. I want you to I want the spirit. It's like when Kanye comes and does his little church shit. I want you to feel the spirit. Feel the power. I want you to feel it. I want you to be motivated. And that's what it was.
It depends. It really depends. I like sucking dick, but one thing I cannot do, and I don't know why, I cannot suck smaller dick. It just because to me, it feels like sucking a pacifier, and I don't necessarily enjoy it. And I don't know if there's a way for me to figure out, because I might get with a man that has a dick that's 6 inches or less. And
okay,
then
now I'm embarrassed again. You've embarrassed me again because
I know I'm not going to. I don't hate on that because y'all can fuck.
Okay,
y'all can put.
I'm more motivated. I feel like I'm more motivated to make sure the woman is pleasurable because I don't have a big penis.
Thank you. Like I don't take that from nobody. Yeah, I don't take that from nobody because I mean, I've been with a guy that had a dick that was less than 6 inches, and he ate me the fuck. I mean, he ate me out.
Yeah.
Great.
That is me.
And I don't even like it like that. And so for him to do, he did that shit. And I'm like, cool. And he fucked me good. I'm like, cool. But I like sucking dick. I can't help it. I will wake up to sucking dick. I will go to sleep to sucking dick.
Oh, yeah.
One guy that I lived with, I used to go to sleep with his dick in my mouth because I loved sucking his dick.
Is my dick in your mouth?
Oh, no. Right. I loved it in my mouth. I loved it down my throat. I loved it. I mean, I would suck that shit everywhere, like on the tie, anywhere. We would go places and I just like pull your dick out.
Oh no,
I'm sucking your dick.
No, my ex, she was only like 4'10", so she was kind of tiny, and it was weird. It's like weird when I go back and I look at pictures of us because I'm like almost 2 feet taller than her. It was crazy, and I'll be over there working at my computer desk, and her kids went outside to play, and she snuck in the bedroom and she crawled under the desk. She went under my legs and went under the table in my computer desk. And she pulled my dick out and just started sucking me right there under the table. It was so fucking hot, dude. Oh my God, she just slobbed me down under. Oh, and I bust one. Oh. And then she was like, dinner will be ready in like 30 more minutes. And I was like, I got the perfect woman. I still feel like I fucked that one up. I should have stopped her. She told me if I had asked her to stay, but she had packed all her shit when I was at work. And when I got home, I saw all the boxes packed up. And she was like, the only reason I saw the boxes is because she knew she didn't have enough time. I was only at work for 8 hours. So she was like, I knew I didn't have enough time to get everything packed and moved out before you got home. Because she said, if I could have done that, I would have just done it. And it was real like that. I mean, she was beautiful because I would be, I wake up and she would be down there playing with my dick and giving me head while I'm asleep. I was like, oh. That's a great way to wake up.
Yes, it is.
Great way to wake up. It's like, the best part of waking
I was about to say that.
I was like, but that's what it was. I was like,
yes.
oh my God, I look
Yes.
and I see her posting up with this new man of hers, and I go, damn, he fucking my bitch. And it's fucked up. I try to be happy for him, but
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. He said, "You a good girl." I love being called the good girl. It's but I'm a brat. So I love shit like that. Brats, that does something to us. Good girls. It just makes a tingle. It a tingle inside. I've noticed Doms don't like breasts. They will tell you that shit. I don't like breasts. I'm like, why? Because y'all don't want to listen. I said, that's the fun part. We like to behave. Like, make us be good. That's the thing. Make us be good. You don't like me misbehaving. Well, give me a reason to behave. I had a dude who found out I was a brat, and he liked it because he liked to consider himself a brat tamer. The guy up here that I talked to, I consider him a brat tamer. He doesn't, but he is. And brat tamers are normally doms who are aggressive, and they want their way, and they're going to get their way. Hell or high water, they're going to get their way. So they're great for brats because they're not going to listen to the bullshit that we give them. And the dude, I would do all types of ratty shit. Like, I would ignore him and everything. And he would come see me and he was just like, yeah, so I got something for you since you wanted to try the shit. And I'm like, oh, we. He's like, you ain't gonna have no we. So I love spankings. I love to be spanked.
oh yeah,
I love a guy just, hey, get on the bed and just spank me. Like, I don't even need you to fuck me, just spank me good. And so he was just like, you're gonna get some good spankings, some different spankings. So he brought out a paddle. I don't necessarily like paddles because paddles really hurt. And he knows that. He's just like, well, you know not to disobey me again because I'm gonna give you a spanking. And he did. Like, I was nice and bruised up after. And he gave me some aftercare. He rubbed my butt and played with my butt, and then he fucked me real good. He fucked me to sleep, bro. But afterwards, I didn't do that no more. I didn't just call him and bug him out of nothing. I learned my lesson, and that, my friends, is the key to taming brats.
oh. I don't know. You've given me a lot to ponder this week. I think you've brought you've brought my level of thought to a new level. I really love. You get better and better every week, and I think the people that listen to this broadcast, either here on YouTube or on all the various streaming platforms, because people seem to be digging what you are bringing, and thank you once again for providing what I think is another masterclass in fan interaction and everything. You've been divine. But the journey for this week is over. And please, Mad Weirdo, again, let everybody know, you're starting to get a fan base out there and people want access to you. How do people contact you? How do they reach out to you?
I have a Facebook page. It's The Mad Weirdo. It's on Facebook. You can look it up. I'm going to put my actual real profile on there tonight so you guys can follow it. It's my real name. I have no shame. So feel free to come on my actual profile page, talk to me, laugh at my memes.
Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. Oh, no.
And hey man, I appreciate that, man. I need to hear that song. Come and talk to me. Okay, no.
Yeah. And Michael Pernesti wants to know: are you still topless? Have you been topless the whole show?
I have.
Oh,
and I am.
That's nice. That's fantastic. Okay, so you got the Facebook page. I know you mentioned Instagram.
Instagram, The Mad Weirdo. All my stuff is The Mad Weirdo, but I'm going to put my real profile on my Facebook page, so you can come on my profile page because that's where I do most of my talking. And let's just continue the conversation. So until next Saturday.
Yes, we will be back every week at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Akari Press channel. And also, please, I normally load these up within like a day or so of us. Once I rip the audio and everything and get everything set up, it'll be on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio. It'll be everywhere. But we thank you guys that come here. It's like we got a little family going. I see familiar faces in the chat each and every week. You guys love Sexy Party. You love supporting this channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel, all at Akari Press. Sexy Party is over. Say goodnight, Tara.
Good night, everybody. See you next week.
For shizzle.